people are dead. And a lot more want to know why.
Okay. I warned you. Because once you know, you can't unknow.
This is serious.
It is.
So stop playing childish games. Look, I have no clue what happened to them.
I can see you.
Somebody wiped all the CCTV footage.
You wanna see me?
We have a serious problem here.
What the?
If I find you, it's game over.
We trap him, we beat his ass.
Hello everyone, I am Sean and welcome to my Horror Corner. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for watching the video. For those of you that have hit that subscribe button, an extra special thank you to you. I know I say this every episode, but that means so much to me, so I really do appreciate it. Whenever I release these videos, I post links to them on my social media, so if you follow me on social media, share those links. Help me try to get this thing to grow and get a little bit bigger than it is. Again, I don't do it for the numbers, but that is appreciated, and you know, one of these days I hope to have a better backdrop and setting and be even a little more privacy, or I've got this green screen that I've been trying to figure out, and I've had some software issues because my computer's old, so still trying to figure a lot of things out, but one of these days I do hope to make everything look a little bit better, and you know, I'll keep getting better at doing this, so help me grow this channel, and let's see, you know, what exactly I could make it down the road. But thank you so much for those of you that have shown the support, that are hitting the like button, that are leaving comments. It really does mean a lot to me, so thank you all very, very much. Today, well, before I get started, let me show you. Have picked up a few new collectibles lately. I want to show you a couple of them for this episode, and then a couple more down the road. But recently, you know, I'm a huge collector. A lot of the stuff I get is from slasher franchises, but I try to pick up stuff from other things that I enjoy as well here and there. And so this week I'm going to show you two new things that I have picked up. The first one is this Funko Pop of Billy the Puppet from the Saw franchise. I really like the Saw movies, or at least most of them. So yeah, I saw this, and I don't have a lot of Saw things. I've got just a few here and there, so I was really excited to pick this one up. That one's great. I'm excited about that. Yeah. And then the other one I also thought was very cool. I like the It movies, both the OG and the newer one. But I think I'm just a little more partial to the look of the clown in the OG, maybe because that's what I grew up with. And for a long time, I had a huge fear of clowns. I don't know what it was. My brother can testify to that. My son, two oldest sons, can testify to that. Clowns freaked me out. It has gotten much better. They don't bother me anywhere near as much as they used to, but for the longest time, clowns just really freaked me out. And so that original It movie, damn, that scared the hell out of me when I was younger. But I did see, because a lot of the Pennywise stuff that I see now, I do see some of the old stuff once in a while, but a lot of it's the newer look, and that one's cool too. I like it. I'm partial to the OG, the way the clown looks. So I was able to pick up this recently, this NECA figure from the It movie that is the OG Pennywise that Tim Curry played in the original, and I thought it was super cool. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. So they had the one from the newer one as well. I may go back and get it later, but I was super excited to get this one. I just think it's so cool. So that's two of the newer additions to my collection. All right, enough of that. Let's get into today's episode. So, you know, I mentioned a few times, I think, that I'm a big fan, for the most part, of these public domain movies. You know, the fact that we've got these Winnie the Pooh movies, there's a Peter Pan one that recently came out, there's Pinocchio coming up. I love all this stuff. I don't know why. There's just something about this stuff that I think is so much fun. And so another one that I had really wanted to see, and for one reason or another just kept missing it, was The Mousetrap. Um, I was super excited about this movie. I had never seen a trailer. I don't know why, because typically I will try to check out trailers. I had never seen a trailer for the movie. I had just heard about it. I had seen it on a few streaming services. I listened to a podcast where a couple of people were talking about it. If I remember correctly, one of them thought it was a lot of fun. One was not a huge fan. Um, but yeah, I've been excited and wanting to see this movie, and I finally took the time to sit down and watch it. I believe it was streaming on. Honestly, I can't. I think it was Peacock is where I saw it. It could have been Tubi, but I think it was Peacock is where I saw it. So I finally got to watch The Mousetrap that came out last year, and I knew as soon as I finally realized I was going to get the time to watch it that I was going to record an episode for it, just because of how excited I was about it and how much I seem to like this public domain stuff. So let's get into some things about the movie The Mousetrap, and then we'll get into my opinion and see if it lived up to the expectations and the excitement that I had. So, Mousetrap, if you don't know the premise, then I'll give you a brief version here real quick, but it says let me start over. Stuck working the late shift at the amusement park arcade, Alex receives a surprise visit from her friends on her 21st birthday. However, their night of fun soon turns into a fight for survival when a killer dressed as Mickey Mouse crashes the party. Again, I had seen a couple images online. Um, the idea of Mickey Mouse being a slasher totally pulled me in. I was super excited. I'm very excited to see Screamboat, where David Howard Thornton is going to play Mickey, or whatever they're going to call him in this movie. So yeah, I was excited about this. I'm like, oh, well, we're going to get Mickey Mouse as a slasher. This is going to be so cool. So I was very excited. The film released on August 6th of 2024, directed by Jamie Bailey, written by Simon Phillips, produced by Mim Furta, cinematography done by Jamie Bailey, edited by Jamie Bailey, music by Darren Moores. Production companies were Into Frame Productions, Bailey Phillips Productions. It was distributed by Gravitas Ventures. Runtime of 80 minutes. Budget, what I was seeing was right around 800,000. And then the box office numbers are only 60,000, which sounds absolutely terrible. But when I was doing some research and looking into things a little bit, the film got delayed. They had planned on it coming out in March of 2024 in theaters, but there were several delays that kept forcing things back. And so finally, it just had a very brief theater run and then came out on demand in August. Like I said, August of 2024. So for the box office numbers to only be 60,000 on a budget of 80 or 800,000 sounds horrible, but it could have been because it was more of just going to demand because of all the delays they had. Excuse me. And I couldn't really find what those delays were. But we'll move on. Rotten Tomato scores were also different. Normally you log right on there and you see those scores. I did see a 17% from audience, which yeah, we'll get into that here in a few moments. I did not see a critic score for this, but I know in some of the things I read, critics absolutely hated this film. Why there's not a score on Rotten Tomatoes, I don't know, but critics did not like this movie, and obviously the audience didn't either. Cast for the film: Simon Phillips plays Mickey, or Tim Collins. Sophia McIntosh plays Alex. Madeline Keeman as Jaina. Ben Harris as Ryan. Calum Swick as Marcus. Mariel Gagne as Gemma, James Lauren as Paul, Kaylee Stiles as Jackie, Mackenzie Mills as Rebecca, and Jesse Naismith as Danny. Of course, the film is a horror reimagining of Disney's 1928 Screamboat Willie, the first appearance of Mickey Mouse. It was originally titled Mickey Mouse's Trap and then changed to just The Mousetrap. I mentioned that it was set for release in March of 2024, but delays kept forcing it back, and it just got an on-demand release in August. I did see that there is a sequel already in the works that started filming in September of last year, titled The Mousetrap: Welcome to the Mickeyverse. Yeah, it's already in production. They've already started filming. I'll come back to that in a few moments. It was filmed in Ottawa, Canada, over the course of 8 days. And director Jamie Bailey made the comment that this movie is absolutely ridiculous. We knew it was going to be ridiculous, but we just wanted to have fun. We had a lot of fun making the film. So again, the director pretty much telling you that he's not taking this too seriously, that they weren't taking it seriously. They were just having fun with the idea, which to me is a good way to look at it, especially when you're considering that you're making, Mickey Mouse a slasher. I think that's a good way to go into it. Having said all of that, let's get into my thoughts on the film. I'm not going to do a plot walkthrough. I'm just going to point out a few things. Yeah, so let's just, this will probably be a short episode, but let's talk about the Mousetrap. Um, First of all, the guy that runs this arcade, Tim, um, he has this Mickey Mouse mask that he's fascinated with, and he keeps hearing voices, and he ends up putting the mask on and becoming possessed. Okay, not really where I thought we were going to go. I thought it would just be more somebody trying to kill someone, and they chose to dress as Mickey. But if you want to do it where he's possessed and lost his mind because of this mask, then that's okay. But it doesn't make a lot of. If that's the route we were going to go, I'd like to hear why this Mickey Mouse mask is possessed. I don't think you always need a lot of backstory. I don't think we always need explanations, but I would like to know why. And I don't feel like I got that. So just knowing when I saw that that's the way it was going, that took the wind out of my sails a little bit. Um, you can also tell very early on, as soon as I turn the movie on, and it starts off with an interrogation scene. So they're questioning, um, I believe it's the lone survivor from these killings. There's these two detectives that are questioning her about what actually happened. And again, a budget of only $800,000. They weren't taking it too seriously. They were just having fun. That's all fine. But you can tell from the first shot in the film that this movie was done very cheap. I don't think the movie looks good. It looks like somebody was shooting it with a home camcorder or something. I just don't think the film looks good. I felt that way through a lot of the movie. There are some scenes and some shots that look a little better than others, but throughout the film, we get a lot of this cutting back to this interrogation. And again, while there are, I think the interrogation is the part maybe that looks the worst, but just some of the other stuff doesn't look great either. And I'm not an actor. I'm sure it's much more difficult than um, people realize, but I feel like me and some of my friends might could have done a better job. I just the performances in this film are not good, in my opinion. I'll just leave it at that. So I was super excited about watching this movie, very ready for it. And then once I got it turned on and I see how poor it looks, and I see what, in my opinion, was not great performances, and then I see that we're going to go with the mask is possessed, even though we have no idea why, but the mask is possessed and is going to overtake this guy that puts it on. Um, I immediately, like the wind was completely taken out of my sails. I immediately was like, this is not going to be anywhere near what I was hoping. Um, and as I continued to watch the film, I continued to feel that way. I feel like it took a long time to even really get to some good kills. There's a few, even those aren't great. I think the first attack, you see Mickey attack, but you don't see what happens. It's kind of an off-screen thing. Um, and that's what, with the other things that were bothering me, I was hoping at least we're going to get some really cool kills out of this, but I don't think we were even getting that. It took a while for things to really start happening. As I mentioned, the film only has a 80-minute runtime, so it's a short movie. It felt longer to me. Um, I was really struggling to stay interested in the film through the first half of it. I didn't like the way it looked. I didn't like the performances. I didn't like what was happening. I was just finding myself very disappointed and very bored watching this film. And then they start throwing in these little side notes and subplots to where apparently flashlights or strobe lights cause Mickey to freak out and he can't do his thing. He can't attack people and kill people. Don't understand why. We also find out that because this mask is possessed, it gives him the ability to teleport and move from location to location. Um, I thought that was incredibly stupid. So there were just so many things happening in the film that I just weren't working for me. I appreciate the effort. I appreciate um, what they were trying to do and just having fun with this and making Mickey Mouse a slasher, the very basic concept I appreciate. I just don't think it was done well, and I'm really hoping for much more from Screamboat. I feel like we'll get much more from Screamboat, having David Howard Thornton in the film. But this movie just, yeah, it was a disappointment to me from start to finish. It felt so much longer than 80 minutes. It doesn't look good. The performances aren't good. Things don't make sense or just don't land. Um, there really wasn't. I kept trying. Even I was so ready for the movie to be over when I was watching it. Um, I had a friend who was initially watching it with me, and about halfway through, they were done. They checked out and went ahead and left, and I just finished watching it at home by myself. But I was so ready for it to be over. I felt like it was never going to end. Um, and I had heard that there was a post-credit scene um, that you should check out. By the time the movie was over, I didn't care. I knew the post-credit screen was coming up. I ended up just turning it off once the film was over, and then looked to see, read to see what the post-credit scene was. It just, yeah, this movie. I feel bad because last episode I reviewed The Monkey, and I know a lot of people really like that movie, but I said a lot of the same things about that movie, in that it just didn't land for me, and I thought it was very boring. I felt the exact same way about this film. It didn't land. It was very boring. It doesn't look good. I didn't like the again the possession part of it. I didn't like the whole lights throw him off part of it. The teleporting thing drew me crazy. There was just really not anything, and I kept, as I was watching it, I kept thinking, I'm still gonna review this. I'm still gonna do it, and I'm gonna try to hang in there and give this the benefit of the doubt because I like the idea, I like the concept, and it's a slasher film. And sometimes even a really bad cheesy slasher film is still a lot of fun. I mean, there's a lot of them out there that are very cheesy, but they're still a lot of fun. This is just not one of those. Um, for me, this movie initially, after I watched it and I was trying to decide what I was going to rate it, I was talking to somebody else about it. And, my rating scale, I do 1 to 5. And I do it very similar to grades that I would have gotten like when I was in school, A, B, C, D, F. That's kind of the way I look at this. So I was kind of thinking this is not good. It's not even average. It's below that. So I was kind of initially thinking I was going to go with a 2, just a not good. That's what I was trying to hold in there, to be able to find something that I liked, to be able to at least give it that 2. I never could find it. Um, so yeah, I think for me, this movie is going to get a 1. It's a terrible movie in my opinion. I was so disappointed. Doesn't change my opinion as far as being excited about these public domain films. Doesn't change my interest in seeing Screamboat. But this one just didn't work. So yeah, for me, The Mousetrap gets a 1 out of 5. And as far as that sequel they're planning, I don't know why. Um, right now, I have no intentions to watch it, but maybe one day if I'm really bored and it's out, um, I'll see if it's any better. But if it's anything like this one, I won't make it all the way through. I can tell you that much. So yeah, disappointing one. 1 out of 5 on The Mousetrap. Um, next episode, I plan on discussing, since I made this big deal about these public domain movies, I plan on talking about Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey from a couple years ago. I have seen the film. I really enjoyed it the first time, but I'm going to do a rewatch and see if it holds up as well and see if I like it as much as I did when I saw it before. So yeah, next episode I'm going to be talking about Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I'll probably go ahead and follow that up with an episode of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2, and then we'll see what's next. I am going to do a Halloween franchise review pretty soon where I watch all of those movies. I've got an episode coming up where I'm going to have some friends on, and we're going to be ranking some slasher films. So I feel like there's some good things coming. Hope you'll stick with me and stay tuned and watch those episodes. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. And like I said, follow me on social media. I am on Blue Sky. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I'm on X or Twitter or whatever you call it. But yeah, you can find me I'm on Letterboxd. Um, Everything except for X and Letterboxd is just Sean's Horror Corner. Easiest way to find it. X and Letterboxd is my Horror Corner because Sean's Horror Corner was just a few too many characters, so I had to shrink it down, and my Horror Corner was the best I've come up with. So yeah, follow me on social media, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on today's video, and let me know what you think about The Mousetrap if you have seen it, or what you think about these public domain movies in general. I want to know your opinion, and I love the interaction. So do those things for me, and I'll be back in a few days, and we'll talk about Winnie the Pooh. Thank you so much.